Let me tell you a story that completely changed how I see attraction. For 6 months, I was what you'd call the perfect boyfriend. I sent constant texts, planned every single date, and was always available. I thought I was doing everything right, being attentive, showing I cared, putting her on a pedestal. In my mind, that's what a good guy is supposed to do. But I could feel her pulling away. The texts got shorter. The excitement just died. Suddenly, she was busy all the time. It was a slow, painful death, and the more I tried to fix it by caring even more, the faster she ran for the hills. I finally hit my breaking point. I just gave up. I stopped texting first. I stopped planning my week around her. I stopped trying to win her over and poured all that energy back into myself. I started hitting the gym like a man possessed. I dug up old projects I'd abandoned, and I went out with my friends without checking my phone every 5 seconds. And the craziest part? It was like a switch flipped. She suddenly became obsessed with getting my attention back. The one-word replies turned into paragraphs. The excuses turned into her asking me when I was free. She was trying to win me back. This isn't just my story. It happens all the time, and there's a powerful psychological reason why. Now, we're going to break down the 4 key principles that explain why a man who doesn't seem to care can suddenly become so magnetic. Now, this isn't about becoming a jerk or playing manipulative games. This is about understanding the deep-seated psychology of attraction that most of us, especially the nice guys, get completely wrong. We've been sold this idea that constant attention is the currency of love, but the men who quietly own the room, the ones women can't stop thinking about, don't operate that way. By the end of this, you'll understand the huge difference between unattractive neediness and magnetic self-possession, and how to build that quiet, undeniable strength in yourself. Section 1. The myth of availability and the economics of desire. The first reason this works is a basic law of human nature and economics, the scarcity principle. Simply put, we all place a higher value on things that are rare and a lower value on things that are easy to get. This isn't just about gold or limited edition sneakers. It applies to people. It applies to you. Think about it. If I offered you a rock from my backyard, you wouldn't care. It's everywhere. But if I offered you a moon rock, you'd be fascinated. The only real difference is availability. When you make yourself constantly available, replying to texts in seconds, dropping everything for her, always initiating, you're turning yourself into that backyard rock. You're subconsciously telling her that your time and attention aren't scarce, and if they're not scarce, they can't be that valuable. A lot of men, especially self-proclaimed nice guys, operate from a place of fear. They're afraid that if they don't constantly show interest, she'll forget about them. So, they overcompensate. They become people pleasers, trying to earn her attraction through sheer effort. This is what's known as nice guy syndrome, where being nice isn't genuine. It's a hidden deal. The man thinks, if I'm nice enough and available enough, she owes me her affection. But attraction isn't a business deal. You can't convince someone to desire you. In fact, being too available does the exact opposite. It kills the mystery. If she knows everything you're doing and thinking 24/7, what's left for her to wonder about? We're drawn to the unknown. A little mystery is compelling. A man who isn't constantly reporting in creates space for her to think about him, to wonder what he's up to. The moment she starts trying to figure you out, she starts investing in you. This isn't about playing hard to get, it's about being hard to get because you're actually busy building your own life. A man with options, not just with women, but with his time and energy, carries himself differently. He doesn't cling or chase for validation. This signals high value. He has a life, he has standards, and he isn't desperate. This non-neediness is a powerful sign of strength. The man who seems uninterested becomes a challenge, and the idea of winning over that man can be intoxicating. The guy who's always there, always eager, sends a clear message. You are the most important thing in my life. While that sounds romantic in a movie, in reality, it puts a ton of pressure on her, and suggests you don't have much else going on. A man whose focus is elsewhere communicates something far more attractive. He has a purpose. And that leads us straight to the second principle. Section 2. The power of a purpose. Indifference versus distraction. This next part is the most important reframe you can make. The indifference that's so attractive isn't about not caring about her, it's about caring more about your mission in life. There is almost nothing more attractive to a woman than a man driven by his purpose. He isn't serving her, he's serving his vision for the world. A man who is focused, passionate, and on his path is a magnetic force. His purpose could be building a business, creating art, or mastering a skill. What he's doing is less important than the focused energy he brings to it. This focus creates a natural, authentic kind of indifference. He's not pretending to be busy. He is busy. He's not ignoring her texts to play a game. He's ignoring them because he's locked in on something meaningful. This is the key difference between attractive indifference and just being apathetic. Apathy is lifeless and repels people. Attractive indifference is controlled desire. You have that desire, but you aren't driven by it. You're driven by your purpose. Your life is the main event, and she's invited to be a part of it, not the center of it. When a man makes a woman his entire purpose, he loses the very thing that made him attractive. He becomes a people pleaser, looking for her approval at every turn. This drains his masculine energy. He goes from being the leader of his own life to a follower in hers. She doesn't want to be your mission. She wants to join you on yours. She wants to be a teammate and a cherished partner to a man who's already going somewhere. A man with a purpose naturally communicates a ton of attractive traits: confidence, ambition, and stability. Not just financial stability, but emotional stability. He has an anchor in his life that exists with or without her. His passion is inspiring and gives him a depth that goes way beyond small talk. Think about the classic attractive archetypes: the driven artist, the focused athlete, the ambitious entrepreneur. They all have a purpose that's bigger than any one relationship. A man who lives in entertainment mode, just escaping with video games or binge-watching shows, projects a lack of purpose. He's waiting for life to happen to him. The man with a purpose makes life happen. So if you feel lost, the answer isn't to find a woman to complete you. It's to find a mission. Just start. Hit the gym. Clean your room. Start that project you've been putting off. One action leads to another, and soon you're building momentum. That momentum is your purpose taking shape, and that's the energy that is absolutely irresistible. Section 3. Emotional self-control, the eye of the storm. Principle number 3 is about becoming an emotional rock. It's the ability to stay calm and centered, especially when she's moody, creating drama or testing you. Think of it as being the calm eye of the storm. A woman wants to feel safe with a man. If a guy falls apart or gets nervous and insecure just because he's around a beautiful woman, she instantly feels unsafe and turned off. It signals a lack of emotional control. So many guys make the mistake of riding a woman's emotional roller coaster. When she's happy, they're thrilled. When she's upset, they panic and scramble to fix it. This makes them look weak and dependent on her for their own happiness. The man who can stay calm while her emotions swirl around him becomes an anchor of stability. This is incredibly attractive because it creates a deep sense of safety. Women often test men to see if they are that rock. A test might be a provocative question, a last-minute change of plans, or just pulling away emotionally. She isn't doing it to be mean. She's instinctively checking your strength. Does he get flustered? Does he get angry? Does he get needy? Or does he stay calm and hold his ground? For example, she might say something like, "My ex used to take me to places like this." A reactive guy might get jealous or insecure. A man with emotional self-control might just smile and say something playful like, "Well, he's got good taste," and then change the subject. He isn't threatened because his self-worth doesn't depend on her approval. This kind of emotional control is true strength. It's not about being loud or aggressive. It's a quiet power that shows you own yourself. You don't need to win arguments. Your stillness does the talking. You speak slowly as if nothing can rush you. You don't rush to fill silences in a conversation. You let the tension build until she feels compelled to fill it. This shows you're comfortable in your own skin. This is the total opposite of the nice guy, who is terrified of conflict. He avoids setting boundaries because he's afraid of upsetting her. A woman can sense this lack of authenticity. She doesn't want a doormat, she wants a partner who can lead. And a man who can't lead his own emotions certainly can't lead a relationship. Developing this control isn't about suppressing your feelings, it's about not being a slave to them. When you're secure in who you are and where you're going, the small ups and downs of a relationship won't knock you over. You become the oak tree, not the leaf in the wind. That stability makes her feel that no matter what chaos life throws at you, you can handle it. That feeling is the foundation of deep, lasting attraction. Section 4. The dopamine of uncertainty, the science of the chase. The final piece of the puzzle is all in your brain chemistry, specifically a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Now, most people call dopamine the pleasure molecule, but that's not quite right. It's more like the motivation molecule. It gets released not when we get a reward, but in anticipation of one, and nothing spikes dopamine like a little bit of uncertainty. Think of a slot machine. It's the maybe, the chance of a win, that keeps people pulling the lever. If it paid out every single time, it would be boring. If it never paid out, people would quit. It's the unpredictable, intermittent reward that makes it so addictive. This exact same principle applies to attraction. When you are completely predictable, always available, always showering her with compliments, you're the slot machine that pays out every time. The anticipation is gone. The thrill is gone. The interaction becomes flat. This is why a woman can get bored with a guy who seems perfect on paper. He's just too predictable. There's no challenge, no tension, no chase. A man who is centered on his purpose and emotionally in control naturally creates this addictive uncertainty. His response times will vary, not because he's playing a game, but because sometimes he's genuinely busy and other times he's free. His affection will be powerful when he gives it, but it won't be a constant flood. This unpredictability keeps her on her toes. It makes her wonder, does he like me? Is he thinking about me? That state of wondering floods her brain with dopamine. This creates a powerful effect sometimes called attraction anxiety. The butterflies and anxiety she feels from the uncertainty get interpreted by her brain as intense attraction. She becomes hooked on the emotional highs of the interaction. Again, this isn't a call to start playing games. A man who is genuinely living a full life will naturally be less predictable. He'll have moments of intense focus on his work and moments of complete presence with her. That variation is the secret sauce. You show her affection, but you don't overdose her with certainty. The nice guy approach of constant validation smothers this neurological fire. He gives her everything up front, leaving nothing for her to earn. Women, just like men, appreciate things they have to work for. When a man's attention has to be earned, it feels like a real prize when it's given. Section 5. The Crucial Nuance. So after all this, you might be thinking, okay, got it. I just need to be an aloof jerk and ignore her. Absolutely not. That is the single biggest mistake you can make. The principles we've talked about are the results of a man who has his life together, not a list of tactics to manipulate someone. Let's be crystal clear. This isn't about playing games. It's about genuinely building a life you're proud of. It's about being warm and present when you're with her, but not needing her validation when you're not. The man who pulls this off isn't cold or cruel. He's warm and kind because his self-esteem doesn't require him to be anything else. But he doesn't use kindness to buy affection. His mindset is simple. His life, his mission, and his standards come first. If she shows up and brings good energy, he reciprocates. If she's flaky or disrespectful, he doesn't argue or chase. He just pulls back his attention. It's not a punishment, it's a policy. His time is valuable, and he spends it with people who value it too. Here's the ultimate reframe. Stop trying to make her your world. Build your own world and invite her to be the queen in it. The attraction will become a natural, effortless consequence of you being a high-value man on your own path. In short, let's kill the myth right now. Women aren't attracted to men who genuinely don't care. They are instinctively attracted to men who care more about their self-respect, their purpose, and their mission first. The indifference that feels so magnetic is really just the shadow cast by a man standing firmly in his own light. The constant availability, the lack of purpose, the emotional reactivity, and the boring predictability, these are the traits of the nice guy who finishes last. Not because he's nice, but because he's needy, inauthentic, and has no center. True attraction isn't something you can beg for or negotiate. It's something you command by who you are. By making your time valuable, pursuing your purpose, mastering your emotions, and allowing for a little healthy tension, you become the man she doesn't just want, but the man she feels she needs to win. You stop being the chaser and become the prize. If this just flipped a switch for you and you want to learn more about building this kind of unshakable confidence, hit that subscribe button, and for your next step, you have to check out this video on the 5 signs a woman is testing you and how to pass every time to go deeper on this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.